Welcome to another edition of What Barrie's Talking About from Barrie 360. I'm Dan Blakely. On this week's program, hockey is back. The Barrie Colts open training camp this week. We'll get a preview of what's to come. Barrie celebrates everything Latin this weekend at Carnival Barrie on the waterfront. Another Gussapalooza is just around the corner. And gather your friends together for the Everest Challenge at Horseshoe Resort. We get the conversation started after this. Barrie Colts getting geared up for the coming season. Training camp opened this week. Colts broadcaster and writer Gene Pereira has been following the team during the offseason, watching the comings and goings. He lays things out for Barrie 360's Will Konken.
Can't believe we're already back talking Colts, Gene. The OHL season is right around the corner. Preseason starts this Saturday when Oshawa comes to town. The Colts then start the regular season on September 27th in Sudbury. But recently, it's been training camp for the club. You were there. What are a couple of takeaways from that and the scrimmages?
Well, it's always a great time to kind of see all the young prospects on the ice. And, it's a lot of fun watching seeing that these guys that scouts tell you about and team officials tell you about. And, there's certainly some players. Obviously, a lot of eyes on Parker Vaughan, the first-round pick, and, just really an exceptional young talent up front, centerman. He's going to be a really good hockey player. And like anybody else, it's going to take a little bit of development time as he gets stronger. But he certainly looks like the impact player the squad had talked about, and he is a big part. Another guy that kind of stood out to me was Kolzbowski, and he came in. A draft pick was signed late last year, got some ice time late last year as they ran into some injuries and so on. But Cole, I thought, he had a really good first day at camp, and he just looks that much stronger, that much more confidence, and I kind of like the agitation side, the little bit of an edge that he plays with, and I had heard about, and he was certainly in Keyshawn Aitchison's grill, which as Aitchison's so small players, so it was just fun watching them going back and forth on the ice, but certainly a standout. And another guy that I think we saw really blossom in the second half last year, Zach Weigel, has really continued to take his game to another level. And, it's just hard not to be excited watching him out there. Yeah, it's camp, and there's a lot of young guys, but you can see the development and the process, and he's worked hard. He's in great shape. Shamar Moses, the first-round pick from last year, is an outstanding physical shape, and that's the big part. You really see the work that these guys put in over the summer.
A familiar name is returning for the Colts, Bo Akey. You actually chatted with him and wrote a piece for Barrie360.com. He went through a tough rehab on his shoulders when he was injured, and when he injured one of them early last season. Maybe what are the Oilers looking for him to develop in this season?
Yeah, it's a long process, and it was really tough because Bo was really starting to come into his game, and last year I thought he was going to really step forward and be an impact player in the OHL, and he's one of the top defensemen in the league. And I think for Edmonton, first and foremost, you want to make sure that he's healthy and gets back and get back to Bo doing what he does best, which is just back there. He's great on the transition side of the game. He's a great puck handler. He's a great playmaker from the back end. He can rush the puck, and I think these are things, that offensive upside, but as well his defensive side of his game. I think the Oilers will certainly look to keep an eye on that and that development. And I think Bo, as time was going on, was becoming a better defensive defenseman, always known as kind of that offensive side, but really he's just a strong skater, and that's a big part of his game and what makes him so good.
In another story, you mentioned the Colts made 2 moves that they believe will have impact. Maybe touch on that as well.
Yeah, the big addition in the blue line, Tristan Bertucci coming from Flint in a trade, and a three-way trade where you give up Jack Prouty, a really good young defenseman, but in Bertucci, again, just such a smooth skater, one of the top defensemen in the Ontario Hockey League, a draft pick of the Dallas Stars, and again, another guy similar to Akey in the sense that very strong skater, very good offensive upside from the back end. He's going to log a lot of minutes, can play in any situation again, and just really, I mean, that's a huge addition to the blue line. And then, of course, the addition of Brad Gardner and the trade, another Dallas Stars prospect, and add Emil Hemmings, and that's 3 Stars prospects. So I guess you could say the Stars are aligning in Barrie, but no. But Gardner again is a great two-way forward, and he puts up a point a game, and another guy that can play in all situations.
What could be the Achilles heel, you could say, for the Colts this season? What do they have to work on?
I think first and foremost, I think the talent is there, and a lot of these guys, they do put in the work, and part of the makeup last year after the deadline, they didn't quit, and I'd like to see them continue that, and I think there are bigger expectations, and the players know that this year, and I think their biggest Achilles heel is to make sure that you just don't, have that feeling that, okay, all I have to do is kind of show up and we're going to win because we're supposed to be good. This is a team that has a lot more expectations this year. They've served notice that with these couple of these big additions that they're looking to take a run this year. And sometimes with teams like that, it's easy to kind of just say, okay, all we got to do is show up and win. And, we didn't see that from this young club last year, and I'd love to. I mean, they almost pulled off an upset of Oshawa in the first round, and they had a strong second half when everybody just thought they were going to get written off with a young club, and I'd love to see them continue that kind of makeup, where you talk to the players and, there's that feeling that everybody wrote us off, nobody felt we could do anything, and if they can continue that, and with this extra year development, they're going to be a really strong team.
To end things off, give us your prediction of how the Colts will fare this season, and maybe some games fans should circle on the schedule.
Yeah, I think this is a team that will certainly be right up there among the top teams in the OHL. But the Eastern Conference is really strong this year. Brampton is all in and kind of making a big run. They've had some big acquisitions. The Oshawa Generals are going to be strong again. Hamilton. So I think, you got 4 or 5 teams there that are really good. But I think Barrie's going to be battling Brampton all year for top spot in the Central Division. It's going to be fun to watch that go back and forth. So I think they'll be right there battling for among the top of the division and the conference. And you want to circle games. It's certainly those Brampton Steelhead games. I think there's the rivalry, the 2 teams in the same division. Those are going to be fun to watch. And I think, even, they play Oshawa this Saturday, and, you don't play them the amount of times. But those games against Oshawa, that first round series, I think, Barrie wants to show that, that they're among the best this year. So it's going to be fun to watch those. And of course, anytime the London Knights come to town, it only happens once a year, but it's always one that you circle on a date. Everybody likes to play the so-called Legion of Doom. But, there's no doubt London Knights are always a strong team every year, and teams certainly like to kind of show their mettle against them.
You got that right, Gene. Well, I'm really glad to be back chatting with you. Till next time there, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
Long weekend coming up, and the organizers of Carnival Barrie are hoping it's going to be hot, hot, hot. We're joined by Adrian Caraballo, who is the chief organizer, I guess, of what's going to be happening this weekend down on the waterfront at Will Dwyer Park. Tell us how all this got started for you.
I used to actually run a food truck in Barrie. It was Chacha Churros. We did empanadas and churros and stuff. And then COVID kind of knocked us out. And then events and everything kind of froze with everyone being afraid to get together again. And then the concept was, do we bring back a food truck? And every time we did the food truck, I was I was always short on the idea of we don't have enough Latin representation. And then I kind of started to go back on some ideas like, well, why don't I just kind of host a festival? And instead of bringing just my culture, I try to blend all Latin cultures together for not that what we're different in, but what we're kind of similar in, which is the music, the food, just the energy we bring to it, the dancing. And then from one step to another, met a couple of people. I presented something to Events Barrie from the people that I knew from the food truck side, and they loved the idea. I wanted to do it right on the waterfront. That's a connection to Latin culture. Everyone's gone to hot destinations, and the beaches is what they kind of connect with. And last year we did, I think, 12 different food trucks and food vendors. 30 vendors came in from artisans and different stuff. We had 2 full days of artists, entertainment, live engagement, stuff like that. And this year we took that and we just kind of doubled it up, and now we have almost 40 different vendors, 25 different food trucks and stuff. Stage is just as packed. We have an after party at the Ranch nightclub happening. A lot of energy. City got behind us. They got me organized, right? Because I just wanted to throw a big party. And now they're turning it into a legitimate staple in the downtown Barrie for years to come. So I'm excited about that part for sure.
What kind of entertainment are you bringing in?
We take our stage and we kind of break it up into 3 elements. So in the morning, it's more interactive and educational. So we're going to have like local dance schools teaching merengue, bachata, salsa. We have some kids acts coming up. So it's more of an engaging environment for the first window for like 12 to 3. 3 to 6, we kind of go really cultural. While we have different indigenous dances coming from Chile, Peru, Argentina. We have candombe from Uruguay, stuff like that. And then in the evening, we start getting into the acts, like full like bands and whatnot, and dancing and heavy music. And in between the whole time, there'll never be a dead moment. We have live DJs all day from 12 to 10 p.m. every day. So we'll have live music happening all the time.
Around the world, the Latin community is huge. How big is the Latin community in Barrie?
That's a crazy stat, actually. I was invited to speak at City Council back in March, and I started doing some legwork. And individually, country by country, it's not significant. But when you merge the Latin American population, I think it came up to almost about 6.8 or 7.2% of Simcoe County, which is a significant number when you take us all together. It's the biggest second population, and that includes from Mexico, Puerto Rico, down to Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, Panama. There's 21 different countries that are all mixed up into that. And one of our goals for the festival is to have representation from every country, either be it on the stage, be it as a food vendor, or be it as some of the local vendors that we're kind of picking up on, right? I think last year we had 14 countries represented, and this year we added one more. I think we added a Pan-American artisan that's going to do some vending there.
And the great thing about this is it extends beyond the Latin community. You get people from every community in the city coming in to check on this because it's that vibrant, it's that exciting.
Yeah, and the idea has always been not to just show our culture, but to share why we're here, right? The original process of all this came from my dad, my mom come to a country because their country's so poor. It's a token of honor to them saying they came here to give me a better opportunity, but not to become disconnected from our home country, right? So we still want to share our culture, right? And this is where we kind of like say, well, if I'm in that situation, well, the same, my friend of mine that's from Colombia is in that situation. The friend of mine that's from Mexico, Nicaragua, they're all in the same point. We don't want to forget it, but then we're not big enough as individual countries to say the similarities of what we are. Let's dance, let's move, let's make, those similarities. Well, let's share them all as a group so that we have better visibility. And then everybody that enjoys it, I'm talking about from the islands, Europeans, from Africa, from Russia. I don't care where you're from. The music hits. You can't avoid that part. And the food is amazing, and everybody's been to hot destinations. They all want to go to the hot destinations. We're in a cold country, so I think they don't want to find something that they can relate to that they've been to or have experienced that they can come back and relive it, re-experience it, or find new versions of it, and that's the kind of the goal.
And this is the beautiful thing is it enriches the entire community. It opens the eyes of people who have dreamed of going to a Latin country and experiencing that but haven't had the opportunity, and others who have been there who want more of it.
Yeah, I think last year we had a really crazy situation where even people that were from, we had an example where a Dominican lady, she was a volunteer of ours, she started coming over and she was tasting Colombian empanadas, or she was trying Venezuelan chicha, or she was trying the Uruguayan, like, she's Latin in the grand scheme of things, but she was experiencing the Latin culture in a new way, right? Not to include anybody that wasn't Latin, to them it was an amazing kind of combination of, or option or alternative of different ways they can kind of connect, right? And then we would hear conversations of when they were in Mexico, they did this, or when they went to Costa Rica, they did that, or you should get it. And then they started sharing information between each other and sharing stories and stuff, and that kind of connectivity. And none of it had to do with Latin people. It was a common thread that we were able to pull off of. And I think being able to put that platform forward on the waterfront, and it's a beautiful waterfront. Everyone that doesn't know Barrie, they come and they find out real quick how nice that is, right?
It's Carnival Barrie. It's at Will Dwyer Park on August 31st and September 1st. If people want more information, you have a website they can go to?
Yeah, www.carnivalbarrie.ca.
What Barrie's Talking About is a weekly podcast featuring the best Barrie and Simcoe County have to offer and more. You can get caught up and make it easy to keep up in the future by subscribing to What Barrie's Talking About through any podcast distributor. Still to come on What Barrie's Talking About, what the hell is a Gussapalooza and a challenge to your strength and stamina? Now this.
It's cool to care.
It's a well-known fact blood transfusion saves lives. It's also a well-known fact that the world relies on voluntary unpaid donations to fill the need for blood. The need for blood never ends. Canadian Blood Services in Barrie is calling on you to help save a life. Please consider donating today. Appointments are mandatory and must be booked in advance. Book today at blood.ca through the Give Blood app or by calling 1-888-2-DONATE.
Cool to Care is brought to you by the Peggy Hill team. Keeping it real all the way to sold. Reach out now at peggyhill.com.
It's cool to care with 107.5 Cool FM.
This is What Barrie's Talking About from Barrie 360. I'm Dan Blakely. Gussapalooza returns to Cookstown September 13th to 15th, a celebration of emerging music and more. Craig and Brian from the Rock 95 Morning Crew got the details from Gussapalooza's Russ.
We're very excited about this because this is Music Central, man. What's going on? Tell us the date and the location and everything you need to know about Gussapalooza.
Gussapalooza is a different kind of festival. We're a dream machine, as you will. We're all about building up emerging artists and creating opportunities across the board. We took over a 48-acre event grounds in Cookstown, Ontario, called the Georgian Bay Steam Show Grounds. And this year we got over 2,000 submissions from across North America.
Wow.
From cities like Los Angeles and New York City, all across Canada, Newfoundland, and Whitehorse. And we went through all of them. We picked out about 45 bands and across different genres, and we've invited them out to Cookstown to play for all kinds of folks.
That must be time consuming. You're going through 2,000 submissions and you get 45.
That's
right?
fun work, though, isn't
it's
it?
the most. It's the best thing. It's the best job anybody could have. You know, you get to discover your new favorite bands, and that's what we're all about.
Right.
We're about finding these diamonds and bringing them out and letting them play for some very interesting folks. So this year we've teamed up with all kinds of people to bring them out to the show, and we're very excited for them. We want to see them get to the next level, and we want to get them in front of new fans. And the entire intent with the festival is really to create a connection in the emerging music and entertainment scene here in Ontario and get things rocking.
Right. Is 2,000 the most submissions you've got? Like, it's probably
By
growing.
far.
Yeah. Huh?
By far.
Wow.
Yeah. We were absolutely taken back with the amount of submissions, and we're like, how did these bands find out about us, and how are they willing to jump in a van and come from the West Coast to a little, farmer field in Cookstown, Ontario? So there's this magic in the air with the festival, and I think the bands see it. They need a place to come out and play and show their original music and showcase it. And, there's some really interesting places that have done that in the past. One being CBGB's in New York City was a little hole in the wall, and they just made a stage and allowed artists to come on there and show their original music. And who walked out of there? The Ramones, Talking Heads, Blondie.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these diamonds that just need a shot.
So that's right. Give them a shot. And what year are you guys in?
We're in, officially, we're in I would say our real official year was 2022. That's when we moved to the 48 acre steam show grounds. And before then, we were on a 5-acre parcel. And it was more of a backyard bash. Until we really got serious with it. We said, hey, what can we really do to make some serious opportunities for bands in the area? How can we connect people and bring them out and do something exciting?
A party to a festival.
Party into a festival. We started off, it started off with an open call on Facebook to a couple local bands. We got 50 of them who answered, and our one-day celebration turned into a 3-day event. And we were like, we got something special here.
Yeah.
So it's been just a lot of work going into it and just a lot of love from the community. It's a really community-based thing because you need a local community to raise these artists, push them up to the next level. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to connect with just amazing people in the area to come out, check out these bands, give them a shot.
Yeah, have some fun.
Listen to them. Go to the website, listen to the playlist we got going on. See who's in your area because you have no idea what kind of talent is just waiting here, waiting to be discovered. And we want to be that platform for these artists.
Is it throwing you on the spot to ask you who you're most excited about?
I'm excited. So I got to listen to every single one of these bands. I sat down and I listened to them. We had a team go through these guys, and we have all different genres. So it's just been amazing. I'm excited there's a few of them I can't wait to see. I'm always trying to find my time and breathe during the festival. Well, I'm running around,
yeah, exactly.
So I just there's some ones I'm very excited about. Obviously, we're excited about our 3 big last year's award winners. We're bringing them out to headline this year's festival.
Nice.
Awesome. Fortunate Losers is one to keep your eye on. These guys are out of Sudbury, and they're just rocking. Cool. They are really cool. And another local hero is Cigar Club. We're excited to see them come out and play. And then Blues Emergency, too. Those are our 3 top award winners. We're looking to hand out some other awards this year, and we've got some good ideas about the bands, but we want people to go and listen for yourselves.
That's right.
And then come out to the festival, and you can have your say.
And how many days is it, and how many bands a day? I think I have, September 13th to 15th, right?
Yep, September 13th to 15th. So we start up Friday night, and so what we do is we bring in 2 mobile stages. We got a 3rd stage we do seminars on and even a comedy show. But our 2 main stages, they are like a shotgun of music, double-barrel shotgun, man. One fires up, the other one gets going, boom, 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 and these bands play all day long.
And what about tickets? Can you buy a weekend pass? Can you buy a single-day pass? Where do you go?
You can get all that information on our website, but tent camping is free. We got free parking, and so it's the cheapest show in town. You're going to get your bang for your buck, guys. It's it's like $130 for the full weekend, and that includes free tent camping. There's an RV park. There's a family campground. We really believe that these kids need to come out and see the bands too. So it's a great place for the family to come out, see new music, and there's all kinds of things going on. We got workshops and.
Nice. Well, it's on the up and up. It's only getting bigger.
Yeah, Gussapalooza.com, 2 S's, right?
Gussa with 2 S's.
Yeah,
Gussapalooza.com, and tickets are on the website, and you can also get them at Tixer.com and look up Gussapalooza.
Thanks for coming in, Russ.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Thanks so much.
Here's a challenge for you: climbing Mt Everest, sort of. Horseshoe Resort is hosting the Everest Challenge, inviting teams of people to climb the ski hill. The more people you have on your team, the less you'll have to climb, all for a good cause. Barrie 360's Ian McLennan gets the details from organizer Simon Williams.
Everest Challenge, Together We Climb, that's what's on the website. What is the Everest Challenge?
Yeah, the Everest Challenge is a team-based event where teams of anywhere from 2 to 20 will climb the height of Mount Everest over the course of one day. So, for example, Horseshoe Valley, with its elevation, it requires 96 ascents up to the top of Horseshoe Valley. And if you do that as a team, that sort of works out to just under 10 ascents per person if you're doing it as a team of 10, or you can sort of divide the map up and figure out what kind of challenge you'd like to have.
So if it's just myself and somebody else, there's lots of climbing.
If it's just the 2 of you, that's quite the challenge. Yeah, we have had teams of 2 in the past. They have succeeded. It takes probably about 7 hours. It would be the equivalent of approximately $20K per person plus the elevation. So getting into that half marathon distance plus the half the height of Everest for each of those two people. But it has been done.
Yeah, and doing the math, so basically 96 times, that's 29,092 feet, which is the height of Mount Everest, right?
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
And how long is this? Is this new, or how long has this been going on? And where was sort of the brains behind suggesting this?
We're going into our fifth year. Previously, it was done at Blue Mountain, and this is going to be our first year at Horseshoe Valley. And the sort of rationale behind it is first and foremost, this is a fundraising event. This isn't necessarily your athletic endurance goal to sort of like succeed in something that you otherwise wouldn't normally do. It really centers around having teams of people come together in a community, climbing over the course of the day. So basically, it is a hiking event, and at the end, we're really looking to raise money for United Way, Simcoe, Muskoka, and for Sunnybrook. And that's really what it's about.
Yeah, it says not about the climb, it's about making a real difference. Obviously, the charities that are being supported, and I guess it puts together really, it's a lot of teamwork.
Yeah, it's a lot of teamwork. Everybody climbs together, and really the brainchild behind this was a lot of charities have sort of, golf tournaments, walks, runs, cycling events. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to utilize something that, would create a really interesting storytelling opportunity. So, for example, like if you're going out to do a sort of a 5K walk, people can get their head around that, but it's not a really epic story. But if you get a team of 10 together and say, hey, we're going to climb the height of Mount Everest over the course of the day, that makes for some really compelling storytelling and some opportunities for people to raise money. So we thought about, what time of year, and fall in the Horseshoe Valley area is absolutely spectacular. You have the fall colors. And then, skiing hasn't started yet. The sort of downhill biking season is sort of coming to an end. So you utilize a property that doesn't require road closures or things along those lines. And the fun part is you get to take the chairlift back down. So you hike up and take the chairlift down. Yeah, and you get to immerse yourself in the forested area too, and really, see some spectacular colors while enjoying yourself. And I guess in terms of, somebody who's not, mega in shape, but there's still an opportunity here too, especially when you get a good group of people that you're not doing it 96 times up and down the hill. That's right, exactly. Really at the end of the day, this can be multi-generational. It can be fitness sort of at all levels. So if you're a team of two and you're in epic shape and you're looking to turn this into a massive challenge, great, go for it. If you're grandparents wanting to do it with your kids and their kids, awesome. Why not? Come out as a family. It's a beautiful way to sort of give back to your community. It gives you some motivation to get into shape, and you can really set the level of adventure depending on how many people you have on your team. So it's go at your level. It's not a competition. It's about having fun. Correct. And it's really supportive. We have a big leaderboard. Your team name goes on the leaderboard, and every time you come back down, we put a sticker or multiple stickers, depending on how many ascents you did, on this leaderboard. You can track your progression over the course of the day, and we really see so much support out there when there's some smaller teams that are sort of running and some bigger teams that, let's say, are taking it a little less easy, or a little more easy, I should say. It's such a supportive day. And the registration fee is $50 now, and the website people can go to register and get on board. The registration fee is $50. It comes with $20 that you'll be able to spend towards your lunch on site at a variety of different restaurants at Horseshoe, and it helps us to cover the cost of the downloading on the chairlift. And it's everestchallenge.ca to sign up. Have you given yourself the challenge, Simon? I have done it, yes, absolutely. How'd you feel? I felt great. It's so much, there's nothing better than starting that first climb when you've got, 300 people all starting your climb together. It's pretty exhilarating. And I got to say, when you're surrounded by people like-minded, doing good things, you get stronger and stronger as the day goes on.
And that's our program for this week. Thanks to Ian, Will, and the Rock 95 morning crew for their input, to Matt Ladder for his technical expertise, and to you for listening. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to What Barrie's Talking About, rate it, review it. You can also keep up with What Barrie's Talking About on X at Barrie360, on our website, Barrie360.com, and there's our daily Kickstart podcast available from any streaming service and on our website. I'm Dan Blakely. Hope you'll join us again next week.